All right, how y'all doing? Man, I'm riding with Dimitri. I'm out here with, this is a 23 Volvo, and this is the S90. So a few months ago, I had a S60 as a rental car that they were giving me when my car was totaled out. But this is the B6. It's all-wheel drive. I was reading up on it, trying to get a little bit of a better understanding, because Volvo classifies this one as a mild hybrid. So what it essentially is a small electric motor attached to the combustion engine. So ICE engine on in here, of course, and that small electric motor gives you just an extra boost as far as power, torque mainly, and then of course fuel efficiency is the biggest thing that it gives you. So on a tank of gas, this thing gets anywhere from 400 to 500 miles per gallon, and the electric motor gets its power. It does start the motor, and then your slow starts from 0 to like 35 miles an hour. It gives you that extra boost, like say off the line. That's when the electric motor is doing its work, and then out on the highway it's pretty quiet. Well, not quiet in the sense that it doesn't make a sound, but more so in the fact that it doesn't do much during highway speeds until you get to around about 70-80 miles an hour. That's when you need the bigger, more acceleration and everything for passing and such, or if you just like to go fast like myself sometimes. But yeah, this is a huge engine, and one of the things that I wanted to point out to y'all, because I have not seen this before, not even on the likes of some of like the old school cars and everything, but this hood is tripping me out. So let me show y'all. So right over here in the corner is the latch for it, and then once you lift this thing up, look at the height on that. Okay, let me get a side view so y'all can see just how high that goes up. Hope y'all can see that well. I know there's a glare out here, but let me come on this other side. Maybe that'll help. But look at that hood. It's almost at a 90-degree angle. I would say that's a close to 80-degree angle. All right, so that killed me today. Now you can't see much as far as on the engine itself. You know, I can't really point out the electric or the electric motor on here. But from what I read, it's fairly small. This may be it here. But huge engine compartment. And look, I'm reaching up. Feel like I'm trying to touch a basketball goal to bring this hood down. It's huge on this car. All right, but on the inside, the car is very comfortable. It definitely has the same or similar interior as the S60 that I had before as my rental. Does have the panoramic roof on here as well, which is pretty cool. Finger swipe as far as opening and close it. You just put your finger in this groove here and that'll start closing it. I already had this open from earlier, and then I just stopped it, and then finger swipe again, open it back up. And then it does have a tilt option as well. All you got to do is just touch in the area right here. So that just tilted it up. There we go. I'm gonna close that up so I don't forget to do that, and I get in trouble later on when I park this, and possibly it might rain here. So very comfortable. I mean, I had the seat slid forward a little bit, but for taller people, I mean, there's a lot of room that you have. My legs are stretched almost all the way out. This is with the seat all the way back. So I'm gonna set this to about where I want it driver position wise. And then as far as the back seat room on this one, with this being the big B90, this is the S90. This is the larger of the Volvos that they have out. So lots of back seat room. And even if this seat was all the way back, there's still lots of room between my knees and the front seat. So very comfortable. AC controls are back here, so you can do those. Also heated seats back here, which is pretty cool. It's getting cold here in Georgia. Here's some of your AC vents on the pillars here, so that's different, as well as here at say leg or knee level. Still got these. So there's your USB ports and then your electrical outlet as well. Cigarette lighter adapter, so to speak. Still got the old school ashtray right there. So back here it's pretty comfortable. You know, if you had 2 more adults back here, I don't imagine that you'd be too cramped. Let me just sit over here in the middle seat. So yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest guy at 5'10", and I'm about 170 pounds or so, give or take, wet or dry. So lots of room. You're not sitting up so high now. This on your back, I can say that this isn't very comfortable, but I guess, you know, depends. If you like something firm in your back, might not be too bad, but definitely not as soft as sitting in one of the typical seats. But lots of room. In the trunk area, I saw a pretty good size room. One of the cons they gave on this car was in the trunk, that it's not as roomy for a car this size or in this class, and I can see that. I mean, this has about as much room as as the S60 that I had. Some of the mid-size cars that I've seen. Soft close hood. Now that thing has some heft to it when I was closing it, so it's a little awkward. 20-inch wheels come standard on this one. Nice design. I like the look of it. That white really stands out. You have to be careful. Not sure if you can see it in the video. Of course, if you get the shine of your tires, and you got to make sure they're completely dry before it starts slinging that tire shine all over the place and messing up your white paint and all the work that you just did. But that's a personal thing. Depends on how you like it, I reckon. So drive wise, I don't expect for it to be so much different than the S60. You know, I'm not going to take it through its paces and do a bunch of hard cornering or anything like that, but I would like to take it down the highway, see how it behaves. So let's see what we can get into. The traffic was a mess earlier on the highway today when I passed by, so I'm gonna see if I can get this down there just for a short drive and see how it feels. Steering is comfortable. It's a regular rounded steering wheel with your steering wheel controls on here. If I can take a different route, hopefully I can have better luck as far as getting some highway driving. Just a short distance so I can see. It's pretty responsive there. We're not on a full tank on this one, but says it has 360 miles of range, and it's about just slightly over 3/4 tank. So that S60 that I had as my rental, I remember it had over 400 miles of range. Similar setup as far as using the mild hybrid engine on that one as well. Yeah, definitely want to take it down the highway and see how it feels. And that shaking, y'all, that's just the mainly the road character, and of course this stand that I've got my phone on while I record. Okay, traffic's moving. So let's see how it does. Let some of this. Changes. I think this one's an 8-speed, of course automatic, but fairly tight. I can stand for it to be a little tighter. I will say that it's light as far as steering. I mainly drive with one hand, just my normal everyday driving. So one-handed operation. It's pretty light. So in that regard, to me, feels all right. Feels pretty good. It does have the lane keep assist, must be on, so felt a little fighting with me there. So I didn't have my turn signal on as I was making a lane switch. But going through this curve right here, it doesn't feel bad. Not a lot of body roll. This car does sit fairly low. I won't say that it's tuned for sport, but how it sits though, it definitely helps. Good job. Curves definitely help, gives me an idea, but feels fairly sure through curves like that. I mean, again, it's a larger car. It's nobody's sports car, really. It's in the luxury category. It's a Volvo, but I gave it, the S60 a thumbs up. It's one to add to. My biggest concern with a Volvo, or most foreign cars, I'll say, imports, other than, of course, your Infinities, it's Toyota, don't get me wrong, I know that, and your Lexus, your Infinities or Nissan, your Lexus or Toyotas, but on something like a Volvo, a Swedish maker and everything, is service. That's what I always look at. Can I afford to get this vehicle serviced? And so, don't get me wrong, on my Lexus, I learned. It was a little bit of a hard lesson, but it wasn't the worst. Trying to get brakes replaced on it. it's better to go back with the manufacturer. And it didn't cost me an arm and leg. It was more of an inconvenience as to why I didn't do it, because my mechanic, the place where he worked, was over an hour away. Well, it's one of those things where I had to bite the bullet and drive out there and do it, because the brakes that I got, even though they were like the higher end brakes from Advanced, they didn't hold up well. And the rotor started warping, so I paid twice for it. However, on something like a Volvo, that would be my concern on this, because you can't just take it anywhere. And you just can't buy from anywhere for replacement parts. You know, when you're talking about brakes and your normal wear and tear items, other than, like, you know, windshield wipers are easy and everything, but mostly brakes. But as far as this car out on the highway, feels good. I mean, of course, this has its pros and cons, but depends on what you're looking for. I mean, this is a fairly large car. It rides well. Me personally, would I get one? Probably not. Probably not, and mainly for that fact of, hey, I can't just take it to my regular mechanic to get it serviced. You know, if something breaks, you know, if something goes wrong with the electric motor or the engine itself, you know, I've got to take it back to Volvo. And so that means that I have to pay dealership prices. And this is just me. Personally, I can't afford that. So I stay away from, I in this case would stay away from it. And then it's not convenient. I don't have a Volvo dealership close to me. We've just got this one in on trade, and we're a Ford dealership. So somebody wanted something different. Other than that, it's a great car. It's very comfortable. Having driven that other one, the S90 before, I'm slightly familiar with it because I had it for a couple weeks, and it feels very much the same, just in a larger shell. So everything in here is really the same, other than the rear air controls back there and everything. So I think it's a good car, you know. But like I always tell y'all, go out, drive it for yourself, see what you think, see if it fits your needs. Sorry this video got so long. I didn't want it to be, but I definitely wanted to drive it first and give y'all my thoughts on it. It does have the auto stop start, and that's where it's at now. It's quiet, reminds me of my EV, but yeah, I mean, I like it, but I wouldn't, for me personally, just me personally, I wouldn't want to own it. So in that regard, maybe I'll lease it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll lease it and let it be more of their problem. Because other than that, I think it's a larger, a nicer, larger luxury car. But let me know what your thoughts are, and especially your experience as far as ownership, and drop them in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Acceleration's good. But thank y'all for watching, for tuning in, and I appreciate y'all's time. Y'all be safe out there. It's your man, I'm riding with Dimitri.